So good morning, good night, depending on where you are, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude in the Couch. Today I'm joined by three members of the band from England called Cabin Boy Jump Ship, and I'm joined by three of their members. How are you guys?
Hello, we're all good.
Great.
How are you?
Good.
I'm good here in sunny Miami. So
That's nice.
Let us know, let the public know what you do in the band.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Jake. I play bass and do a bit of backup vocals in Cabin Boy Jump Ship.
Nice.
So I slap drums and do the clean vocals.
Oh, good. Oh, a drummer that can sing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm a bell. I just play guitar, basically. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You're like screw the singing. Let the other guy sing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nobody wants to hear me singing.
Yeah. So we're here to discuss. You are going to release in 1 week your fourth album called Sentiments, and I had the privilege. I got a copy and listened to it, and it's. I heard a lot of influences from other bands that I've been hearing from years. So talking about influences, what are your band's major influences?
So I think for us, our main influence is we've tried to make our own sound as we've grown up, but from young, I'd say bands like Electric Callboy, formerly Eskimo Callboy, they really influenced us to get to where we are now, electronic wise. But we did take like a lot of inspiration from bands such as like Architects. Reese will get into that in a bit because Reese wrote 80% of the album, so he can tell you like his influences. But especially for me, like bass wise, I'm heavily influenced by bands such as like Polaris. They're like so that's my inspiration for this album anyway. And then Reese can tell you now his inspiration on the writing side.
So it's a hard one to really pin down because when I'm writing, I don't really think about I'm not thinking of like other bands. I'm just writing whatever is in my head. But I'm guessing you could probably say that we've got a lot of similarities to Eskimo Callboy or Electric Callboy, as we're in that same kind of electronic-core kind of scene, especially in our older music with a lot more dubstep and electronic elements. So the later album, it's more kind of matured, still got electronic elements in there, but more of that kind of metalcore style. So like Abel, like Jake said, with Architects and bands like that.
Yeah. So Reese, you're a drummer that sings, writes music. So you're like a modern day Phil Collins.
You could say that. Yeah.
For the electronic metal, if you.
Yes. I try my best.
Yeah, no, not every drummer can do that. It's impressive. Write, sing, and play drums. Yeah, no, that's a lot. So, what about you, Abel? What were your influences as a guitarist?
I think I probably bring the slightly more traditional metalcore style of guitar. More bands like Silent Dying, Killswitch Engage. They really influenced the way I like to play. But I was bringing those like heavy breakdowns into that kind of electronic music, making the guitars a little bit more interesting, complicating the riffs a little bit more. The bass was already there, and obviously Reese is really up the game with the writing. Apart from playing drums and singing and doing everything, he can also play guitar very good. So.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
right.
If there's something you can do, Reese.
Speak Spanish. That's my part of it. That's my role in the band.
Oh, you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I'm Spanish. I'm from Madrid, from Spain.
Okay, qué bueno, habla español también. Yeah.
Sí.
No, don't worry. I'm not gonna speak in Spanish now. So, on that point, talking about electronic music in metal, how do you guys see the evolution of the electronic music accepted into metal music? Because I know that it was a gradual process. Like for me, growing up more in the 90s, I think for me, the electronic music in switching into metal in the 90s started with a band like The Prodigy, for at least for me. I think that's like the first time I heard like electronic really used in metal, because I could say Nine Inch Nails, but Nine Inch Nails was more industrial metal, but The Prodigy was like a dance electronic music with some rock and metal tendencies. To me, they were the first one. But for you guys, how do you see that evolution? Because I know that it's obviously it's more accepted now, and back in the day, it was very weird to have electronic music in metal music.
Well, in the UK, I think bands like Enter Shikari really brought like electronic into metal, but it's just graduated so much that even like just your typical metalcore band now will have some sort of like electronics in their background. Like as I mentioned before, Architects, they've got a lot of like, it's very subtle, but it's there, and it's just kind of, it's just what metalcore is now. I think a metalcore song of this age has some sort of like backing track electronics wise in the background. It's just evolved that much that it's just normal now, I think. But as I said, Enshikari were definitely like one of the main starters, especially in the UK anyway, to bring that main electronic sound. And then other bands like Electric Callboy, they're now the top of their game at doing that electronic sound with it. But as Polaris and all those, they have the backing sort of instruments, like backing sort of synths in like their backgrounds, which has kind of made it the way it is today. So
yeah. I also remember when Brimley the Horizon in 2013 put out Sempiternal, which was a shift in their sound, and they brought electronics. So I think that was also like a turning point. But yeah, I also agree with Enter Shikari. They really brought it to the forefront. And I think I'm open-minded, and I think the metalcore like fused with the electronics, it makes sense for that type of music. Like I think it flows well. So yeah, it's a good thing, that people are more open-minded to that now. So the new album Sentiments, I got to listen to it. What are most of the main themes that you explore on this album?
So when I was writing this, it was mainly through the lockdown of for the first lockdown for the UK anyway, for COVID. And like the title says it all, really. Sentiments, it means expressing opinion, or well, pretty much that, expressing opinion. And all the songs, I feel like when I was trying to write the lyrics, we were all in that kind of uncertain times of what is going on with the world right now. And I tried to kind of implement that in the lyrics, like trying to express myself in my own way, I suppose. With our previous albums and releases, it's always been there's still feeling there, but it's always been that kind of party vibe with the electronics, and trying to make a cool vibe. And with this album, definitely tried to implement it to be more, more what's the word? More, God.
Maybe I think even though you were implementing the electronics, you wanted it to show like the vulnerability in the lyrics, like something like that.
Yeah, we try to mature the sound a lot more with this, and to show that we're not just a party band, and we're should be taken kind of more seriously with how our music sounds, really. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you say I didn't you said a pie band?
A party band.
So very
okay,
like disco sort of.
Oh yeah, it's just that I didn't understand. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I think when I was listening to the album, I didn't think necessarily about being a party band.
So our last album, and some like our first EP was very like electronic, very like dubstep, drum and but not so much drum and bass, but like very EDM, and like you could have halfway through a song like a very like dancey kind of like very offbeat, like just very party sort of vibes, and then it would go into a breakdown. Whereas with this album, we've tried to mature it out, keep the electronics, keep that kind of same sort of cabin boy sound that we had before, but not so much dancey party. It's now very more mature, very more listenable. You could say more like mainstream in the metalcore scene.
Yeah, it's just an evolution of the sound. But hey, I like parties too. Who doesn't like a party? So I haven't seen interviews for you guys, so I'm sure they've asked you. But is there a story behind the name Cabin Boy Jump Ship?
I wish I could tell you. We've had this question every time we've been interviewed, and there is no fancy answer to it. It's not like it's like a deep meaning, like my granddad was a sailor, and it's nothing like that. It's literally the original lineup, the band that kind of formed into Cabin Boy. One of the old members' old projects had a song called Cabin Boy Jump Ship.
Okay.
And then they've just said that song name's cool, and then they just use that as the band name. So it's from a song that was in a previous project, but there's no fancy meaning to it. But I mean, it makes sense in your head if you think about it. So
yeah. When I read the name, and you say it, I don't think a lot of people would have that band name. So and it's when I saw the name, it jumps at you. I'm like, Cabin Boy Jump Ship. It's like a Eskimo callboy, if you will.
Yeah.
Those names, they jump at you like for example in the 90s. You saw Smashing Pumpkins, those are, they grab, and I'm like, why Smashing Pumpkins? Do they smash pumpkins? So it's just
very unique.
A name, but it's a name that it gets you, it gets attention, because there's some band names that really, they could grab the attention, but that one does. But I'm like, I'm sure they've been asked this a million times, but I gotta ask them a little bit about it. So I want to show the artwork for Sentiments, the new album that's dropping next week. I thought I like the album artwork. It has the snake, it has the colors. Who came with the concept of this cover?
So I think the original idea came from Connor. So like when obviously we had the album ready, we went into the process of, okay, what should we do for the artwork? And I think Connor came up with the idea of the snake, and then from there it just kind of implemented between the four of us of like, what kind of snake, how do we want this, what color themes, and then it just it just spiraled from there. And then go on, Reese, you were trying to say something.
So I think the reason why Connor chose the snake is because the album is very kind of emotional based.
It is.
Snake kind of resembles the snake has that dark character to it, more like an evil side, and then the arrow kind of represents the good trying to destroy that evil, and obviously the gold is just a nice touch, made out of solid gold.
And it's appealing to the eyes.
Yeah. The artwork was designed by Max Nicoletti, and he done this artwork. He done all the artwork for all the singles, and all the singles are just different elements of what the album artwork is, building up to what the overall. So there's like a bow, there's arrows, there's the ring, there's the snake for each different single, and then it builds up into what the album is that comes out next week.
Yeah, because you have the single Golden, then there's Ghost, Demons, and Survivor. So and on that note, I really like the Demon song, and I thought it was very strong as a lead single. Why did you pick Demons as the lead single of this album?
It's for me, it's my favorite track on the album. So I think it's one of all of our favorite tracks of the album, but
Yeah.
it's probably the most commercial sounding song on the album. It's it's got the catchy chorus, the cool verses, and the breakdowns. It's got all the elements that
Yeah, it's a great song. And you say commercial, but don't be, there's a lot of people that say, oh, say commercial, it's bad. That's total crap. Just because something is commercial doesn't mean it's bad. As there's like lots of like obscure, like weird bands that they can be obscure and not commercial, and not be good. So commercial is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, that Demon Strong was very catchy. The vocals are great. I really dug that one, so I thought that it made sense to have it as a lead single. So yeah, Abel, what do you think? Abel's so quiet.
Yeah, like
people from Spain are not quiet,
that is pretty true, and normally I'm not the quiet one. But yeah, I think with Demons, at the end of the day, it's the song that has all the elements that we show throughout the entirety of the album. It's got the electronics, it's got the breakdowns, the riffs, the catchy choruses. So it summarizes the whole album very good in one song. Its song is different on its own, but Demons has all the elements that we have in all the other songs. So it was a very easy choice for us to choose it, because it really represents the album the best, I'd say.
When we sat down and we all said to ourselves, right, what are going to be the singles for this album? All four of us straight away said Demons. Like that was the song. And then for the other three, we sat and argued on VR chat for ages trying to figure out what should be the singles, because all the others were like, all the rest of the songs on the album are so like, we're so happy with them all. We just couldn't decide 4 songs. Demons was like the one, but the other 3 we really struggled with. And we're obviously now we're a lot happier with the 4 that we've chosen, but like the whole album could be a single. Like it's
listening to the whole album, it feels like it's one of those albums that like it should be very hard to pick a single, because there's a lot of catchiness to it. Like and maybe you can sit down and for the next album and just like draw straws and like roll darts. Okay, this will be the single. Like I don't know. And also when we're doing the process of the album, how important for you guys is the placings of the songs on the album?
Some songs we moved around quite a bit to fit in the right areas, but a lot of it, especially Demons and War, and the first couple of tracks kind of flow into each other lyric wise, to get that kind of emotional side put across when you listen to the album. I think the first couple of tracks anyway definitely are in the correct place to portray that kind of vibe and the feel to it.
The songs are very emotional. So it seems like, Reese, you went down and found that My Chemical Romance emo kid inside of you.
He's gonna go see him tomorrow.
To get those feelings out, like I think that's the thing, the thing that would stand out, electronic like music, it's like a party, but I think if you can bring emotional lyrics that to stand apart from other contemporaries, I think that's the way, because you like it's when you're very young, it's all party, but there's evolution to bands, unless you're AC/DC and you just keep doing the same thing until you die. But it's what was the recording process like, doing this in these pandemic times and with all the lockdowns?
It was very hard. So we went to Inner Sound Studios in York, which is the studio that Arsene Alexandria recorded the Black album. Their Envisions record there, Glamour of the Kill. It's with Sam and Joe Graves, they're brothers, and then you got Mike Kingswood. He's a guitar tech there. So we couldn't all go at once straight away. So it started off with me and Reese. We went up there first, started setting up the drums, doing all the drum tracking, We was there for about a week and a half on our own, just doing the drums. And then as soon as those were done, we went over, and Abel then came up and started doing some guitar tracking with Mike. And yeah, it was we was there for 22 days, I believe, recording this album. So it was a very interesting process.
It was great fun. Loved it.
It was great fun. It's just it was a studio that had no windows, so you couldn't tell what time of day it was unless you went outside.
Yeah.
Maybe they do it so you be productive and you wouldn't want to go outside.
No idea.
Probably.
No idea. But we had great fun. We took a load of game stuff, and they've in there they've got rehearsal space, they've got a kitchen, bedrooms, they've got the studio upstairs and multiple different rooms, and in the rehearsal space is like also a chill area. So they had like sofas, and they had this massive wall that had like a projector on it, so we'd stay in there at night and play like Mario Kart and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a quality like little, it was kind of like a holiday, but it was also work. So
yeah, well, at least it's good that you got to play video games. I've seen documentaries of like studios in California where they had a studio that was so modern. I think they even had like a jacuzzi in the studio. I'm like, how can you be productive if you have like a jacuzzi? But so you guys played a lot of Mario Kart. Is that some of your? Are you guys gamers?
Yeah. We all got VR headsets.
Mm-hmm.
So in our recent video for Golden, we've all got VR headsets on, and a lot of questions we got asked was, did we buy those for the video? And no, we've had those since the start of lockdown. Actually, at that studio recording process for the album was where our vocalist Connor, he introduced us to the VR headset, and we all had a go. As soon as we went home from the studio, we all bought one, and then we'd actually have band meetups in VR chat.
With the goggles?
Yeah. So I've got one here. This
you know what? I'm showing my age. I'm kind of old, and I'm like, yeah. I stay with the controllers. I went to a museum where I went to a museum here in Florida that the Dali Museum up in like near Tampa, St. Petersburg, and they had like a VR set where you would put the VR set and you could see like Dali's artwork. And it's pretty cool, but for me, being old, I feel kind of claustrophobic in it. You know, I come from the era where you had that Nintendo with the 2 buttons, so you couldn't go wrong. It's like hit A, hit B, like. And right now, you know, controller has like fucking 20 buttons. So I'm like, which button do you push? You know, I used to play video games, but I haven't played them in a while. So, so is your favorite console? You say you play Mario Kart. Is it the Wii, or is there any other ones that you guys play?
We all have I don't know if we all do, but when we went to Ukraine, we all took a Nintendo Switch, and we went on tour with another band who shared the same bus as us. And we all took a Switch, and we all were playing Mario Kart on the journey. So we're playing like 8v8, like
nice.
Mario Kart. So yeah, it's just little things at the time. It changes all the time. I don't think we've played Mario Kart for a long while, but we do like games. Me and Abel, we'd play. Oh, actually, Ambreese, I forgot about that. We'd play Call of Duty Warzone. The 3 of us.
Yeah, I used to play the Call of Duty. So
yeah.
So Nintendo, if you're watching this video, you can sponsor me, or you can sponsor Cabin Boy Jump Ship. You know. Yeah, no, yeah, I remember the Nintendo Switch is the one that you can play it, and then you can put it on a you know, you guys, you young guys with technology have it made now. We just had the crappy Game Boy.
I've got one of those as well.
I wasn't even allowed one.
You know, but the Game Boy back in the 90s, and I remember when Nintendo came out, you had the dog hunt, and you had the gun, and you had the Power Glove. When the Power Glove, it looked cool, but it sucked. You know, when you played that Mike Tyson game, the first guy, which was, you could beat that guy just with a punch. I used it with the Power Glove, and he beat me. So yeah. Yeah, I'm sure none of the interviews with you guys talked about video games.
Nah.
So see,
No.
this is how we do it here in the Shield Doing the Couch. I like to talk about different stuff because, obviously we talk about the album, but it's good to know what people like. It gets more fun because I'm sure getting asked the same question time and time again, you're like, oh my God, again. Yeah. So it's good that you guys got to record, and when you guys were stressed, just go and play Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And obviously we need those type of escapes in these hard times. So having said that, you guys growing up, or when your guys are feeling down or frustrated, what album gets you through hard times?
Abel, do you want to
go? I would probably say Silent Dying, Shadows of Security is called. The album with Meaning and Tragedy. That, to me, I still remember the first time I listened to that album. I was in the bus on the way to the city center. I was feeling pretty down. So one of my friends was like, oh, you need to listen to these. And I think that's the day that I really turned into metalcore as escape. I used to listen to all sorts of music, but that album to me always have a special place.
Yeah. What about you, Jake?
I'm a bit of a heavier sort of, I kind of grew up in the same sort as Abel, but like for me, Dimmu Borgir in Sorte Diaboli, that was my shit back when I was younger. Like that album just come out, and obviously that was the first time I was introduced to Dimmu Borgir, and so I got more into the mainstream side of Dimmu. Obviously, a lot of the actual Dimmu fans would prefer their older, like more heavier black metal stuff.
I actually like that one better.
Yeah, I just really loved like the symphonies in the background, and that I guess that was like my implement into not so much electronic, but more of like other than just guitar, bass, and drums and screaming vocals. I guess that was my way in. But bands like Machine Head, I'd go see them every time they came to London. Lamb of God, As I Lay Dying as well, and then Trivium as well. Trivium were like my favorite, like the Ascendancy album. That brought me to the way I am now. And then obviously I not grew out, but like I got more into more of electronic sort of stuff, like Ed Shikari and Electric Callboy, kind of as I've got into now. And I love electronic music in the back of like metalcore songs now. But when I was younger, like proper metal was my thing. Like I'd be the first person in the circle pit when I was younger. I'd be the first person there. I loved it.
I think you're the first person I heard that says proper metal, but you're British and you guys speak the most perfect English. I'm here in the States, but no. And when I went to London a few years ago, your city is so clean. It's so everything. It's so it's easy to get to somewhere. Everything's so organized. Like I loved it. I really want to go again. But yeah, you were mentioning Matt Heafy, Trivium. He put out a new album now, like a solo project.
Yeah.
It's black metal. Really, I don't know why they say it's a black metal album, because it's not a black metal album. It has elements of everything, but it's pretty interesting. I think they're a great band, and I would love to interview you. So what about you, Reese? What's that album that got you through hard times?
I wouldn't say it was an album, but I would definitely remember if I wasn't feeling very happy at the time when I was growing up, there was two bands I always used to go to, and the first one was Muse. I loved Muse when I was younger. Great band live, and the other band is My Chemical Romance. Those two.
So I got where you got those emo. Yeah. You know that they're gonna do concerts here in the States. They sold out like like in 30 minutes. And now when you try to buy the ticket, they're gonna play near where I am. I'm like, I'm curious, the tickets, like the cheapest ticket is like $500. I'm like, I love them, but I'm not gonna pay $500.
Wow.
If I pay $500, Gerald Way needs to sit on my lap and sing to me.
I'm actually going to see My Chemical Romance tomorrow in Milton Keynes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be awesome. And what did you think about the new song?
I thought it was great. The others, yeah, I liked it.
It's
it's
different. Yeah,
very
it's
different.
different. But actually, Gerard Way is on that last Matt Heafy album, and he sings black metal, and I'm like, that's the guy from My Chemical Romance singing in a black metal style.
Well, you listen to his like the first album for My Chemical Romance, and there's screaming like nearly every song in that. So
yeah.
I mean,
my
it was
favorite
surprising to hear him scream throughout a whole song in this day and age. But yeah, I mean, it's surprising, but it's not at the same time because he does scream quite a lot in his music.
Yeah, my favorite still is 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. That's still my favorite album from them. But you know, it's good. So you know, we're almost running out of time, but you know, I had great fun chatting with you guys. So where can people pre-order the new album Sentiments, which is out on May 27th?
You can pre-order the album, which I have here. We got a vinyl version. So you can get the vinyl, the box set, the CD from either our record label, AFM Records, or you can get it from Empiricon. They're on the Empiricon website, or you can get it if you're in the UK, HMV, which is up on there. You can pre-order it from either one of those free, as far as I'm aware. If there's any more, I'm not aware of. But yeah.
So is the color of the vinyl, is it golden?
So the actual vinyl,
the variant, yeah.
So yeah, so this is the inside of it, and then you've got, boom, look at that gold.
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah,
it needed to be golden, you know, like like you imagine like pulling that out and being like a bright blue and with because you know I like the things that they're doing with vinyl now, but sometimes they get way out of hand. Like there's like a vinyl and it has like freaking 7 colors. I'm like, pick a color.
But yeah, we said when the vinyl was being made, it has to be gold. Like,
I think
that was unanimous.
That thumbs up. I think if you have everything golden, it makes sense to have it golden. And you know, I think Sentiments, you know, it's a fun album with deep lyrics that I think if you like that electronic metalcore type of metal, you will enjoy it. You know, it has that catchiness to it, which to me it's good. You know, I like the catchy songs are the ones that stay in your mind. Like, so you listen to it and then you have it in your brain and you're like, damn you song, you stayed, you laid eggs on my brain and now I can't get you out. So so you guys are there plans for a tour soon?
Yeah, we've got a tour in the UK that is in September with American band the Bunny the Bear.
Yes, they're interesting. You know, they've been around for a while. The Bunny the Bear. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're really cool guys. They asked us specifically if we wanted support on their tour. So, and that I think that offer was just before lockdown. So this tour has been planned for a long time. And then as the lockdown eased, we got updated that here's the tour, and we're like, oh yeah, we forgot about that. So yeah, so we're excited for that. So that's coming up in September. We have a lot of stuff that is being talked about right now. There's a lot of like changes behind the scenes. So there is some stuff that will be announced hopefully soon. But I think 2023 we will be pretty much everywhere. And one place 100% we want to go is Germany and America. They're 2 places that
come to Miami.
They're our biggest fan bases, like statistically. So we've been trying to go. We haven't been to Germany since 2016. We haven't been to America at all. So they're the definite ones we want to go back to, but obviously we want to do the whole of Europe. I'm sure Abel wants to go to Spain, so
Yeah.
I'm sure he wants to have some paella.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, I love Spanish food. It's so good. Me being from Puerto Rico, you know, we have a lot of Spanish in us, so it's the food from there is great. So yeah, I hope great tour. And you know what would be a great tour, like a dream tour for you guys? It would be awesome if you like a tour, Brimley the Horizon, While She Sleeps, and you guys. And and architects, you know, that would be like a dream tour. Like
if you can sort it out, then let us
it
know.
could be called like the horsemen of electronic core.
if you can arrange it for us, we'll think about it, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll pull some strings. So guys, you know, it was great meeting you guys, talking to you about the new album. Great success on that. And if I get a Nintendo Switch, I'll play Mario Kart with you guys.
Yeah, give us an ad. We'll give you a play when we're on tour.
Yeah. So
you get 3 of your friends and be 4 of us versus 4 of you.
And everyone plays on Mario Kart. So
yeah.
Until next time, this is Hector, the Shield doing a couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.